Hi, Charles from Novak Migration over here. Case study number 4, Programmer. First of all, disclaimer. Information provided in this video does not constitute a migration advice and is based on limited information provided in an email. Information is current as of February 2019. Wakas is asking a question. Hope you all doing good. Yes, we are doing good. Thanks for asking. I am looking forward to apply for Australian immigration and came across your webpage. I have few queries and will be great if you can help in answering them. No worries, Wakas. I'll try to do my best. I have done my bachelors in computer science and have 10 years of work experience in data analytics, data integration, designing reports, dashboards, designing systems, ETL, and some sort of project management are among my core responsibilities. Which fields you believe I am eligible to apply? I shortlisted Business Analyst or Programmer Analyst as relevant fields. Okay, if you shortlisted Business Analyst and Programmer Analyst, I'm assuming that you must be familiar with ANSCO codes and how all of these occupations are working in Australia, which is good. While calculating the points, there is an option of acquire a nomination by state or territory government. Can you please guide me on how can I be eligible for this option? We'll get there. What are the minimum points should I target for immigration application to process faster? Minimum points, in theory 65, but you would have to get 70, but with the IT occupations you might need to get more than 70. We'll get there. Okay. First of all, computer science and have 10 years of work experience, data analytics, computer science. So the IT occupations are being, all right, so what did you have over there? Business analyst or programmer analyst? So first of all, we'll have to find out what sort of visas you might be eligible for. Analyst. ICT Business Analyst, 189. Yes, you might be eligible for 189. Systems Analyst also 189, 190, 489 as well. So it was Business Analyst and Programmer Analyst. Which one to choose? Analyst Programmer, this one, yep. It's also eligible for 189. Okay. Which one to choose? It's quite hard to say sometimes. For all of these occupations, ACS is the assessing authority. So it's up to them to decide whether your qualifications are for this, or the other one. However, you need to let them know which one you want to be assessed against. So there is ANSCO. Okay, each and every occupation has got the ANSCO code. So these two, systems analyst and business analyst, are in the same group. First fair digits is a group. And then there is the occupation. Analyst programmer is different group, 2613. All right, here is the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Australian New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations. This is the official site, all right? So that's the source of everything when it comes to the occupations. Let's have a look at analyst programmer 261311. You mentioned that you could be analyst programmer or business analyst. See, these are two different groups. Interestingly, let's have a look at analyst programmer 61311. Let's go to ANSCO. Search software and application programmers. Analyst programmer. These are the tasks which would be expected. This is for the whole group, all right? 2613. And then there are the occupations. Analyst programmer. Programmer analyst. Analyzes user needs, produces requirements, documentation, and system plans, and encodes, tests, debugs, maintains, and documents programs and applications. Skill level 1. Skill level 1 means, according to ANSCO, that you would need to have at least a bachelor degree, which you're having. But interestingly, it depends on the skills assessment authority. Sometimes, despite ANSCO is telling that person must have a higher degree. Skills Assessment Authority does not need the person to have the higher degree. So for IT occupations, ACS is relevant authority. That they have got the strict guidelines, and usually if the person has got the qualifications, higher degree, they will need extra sometime, year, 2, 3 years, dependent on the qualifications, as preparation for the work, to be the skilled worker. So once you will finish your school, you might not be considered by them as a skilled worker. You might need to work for another time, another couple of years sometimes, to be considered as skilled, all right? And on the skills assessment, they will provide with the date from which, in their opinion, your work will be considered as skilled. And from that date, you can claim the points, okay? So which one would be closer to you, analyst programmer or business analyst? You will have to check ANSCO. All right, so have a look on the ANSCO codes. The other one, system analyst. The tasks are different. All right, for business analyst and analyst programmer. So have a look at the tasks. So essentially, they do assessment based on the documentation. So you will have to provide with the documents from your school, all right, and references from your employers. And if you will dig into the ACS website, they have got the guide on their website how the references should look like. Okay, so once you will narrow down which one occupation, then you can consider going through the skills assessment. And once you will go through the skills assessment, you will know how many years of experience you can claim. So with your work experience, education, and so on, let's have a look. Points. 10 years of work experience, you have finished higher degrees. I'm assuming you are in somewhere here between 25 and 32, which will give you 30 points. Level of your English, IELTS 6 or equivalent. It's absolute minimum. You have to pass 0 points. Skilled employment in the last 10 years outside of Australia. Let's say that, yes, you have got this 10 years of skilled work experience, or at least 8. 15 points. So we've got a total of 45, not enough. Skilled employment in Australia, 0. Your overseas qualifications. Bachelor, 15 points. So 60. Not enough. For any skilled visa, 189, 190, 489. In theory, you need 65. Can you get some more study requirement? I don't think you have studied. 0 points. Specialist education, you would have to study in Australia to be eligible for this one. So no. Communicated language, you may get extra 5 points if you will pass the NATI test. Whether you have got the partner and your partner is also on the your partner occupation is also on the MLT-SSL list, we don't know. So 0 point. Professional year in Australia, 0. And here is the nomination. You can get 5 points for 190 visa or 10 points for 489 visa. Okay, so that would be the answer for your second question. But first of all, let's have a look whether you would qualify for 189, which does not need the state nomination. So 60 points is not enough. 65 in theory is absolute minimum. However, at the very moment, you would have to get at least 70 to get the invitation. So if you would be able to pass an IELTS test on 7, IELTS or PT, TOEFL, whichever, on a proficient level, that would give you extra 10 points. So 70. With 70, there is the chance that you may get an invitation for 189. However, these IT occupations are pro rata, and sometimes, let me double check, how does it look like now? Skill select. Select round. You can Google it. Skill select rounds. Skill select invitation rounds. Okay, let's add it over here. So what was the ANSCO code? 2611 for business analysts. 2611, 75 points. You would have to get 75 points for 189 visa, so 70 is not even enough. And another one was software application programmers, 2613, right? And you would need to have 70 points to be considered, but have a look over here. Date of effect, 1st of April 2017, so almost 2 years ago. So if you would like to be considered for 189 for any of those occupations from 2611 group or 2613 group, 75 is an absolute minimum you would have to get an invitation for 189 visas. So even 70 points would not be enough. Where you can get extra 5 points. Ccl test, that's something, NATI test, NATI Ccl test, that's something which is quite popular nowadays and doable if you speak other language than English as well. So with this one, there is the chance that you can get 75 points, all right? So that would be for 189 visa, 75 if you are thinking about this visa, 189. State nomination. You can get extra 5 points for 190 state nomination, or for 489 you can get extra 10 points. And as more points as in general, as better. But with state nomination, you need to check the website of each and every state whether they are nominating the particular occupation. So let's find out whether analyst programmer 261311 is being nominated by New South Wales. Yes, it is. So you might have a chance for 189. No, for 190, sorry. 5 points. Okay, New South Wales in general is nominating for 190 only. If you are willing to apply for 489, there are a couple of regions in New South Wales which could nominate. So your occupation is on 190 visa state nomination list. Okay, so you can get extra 5 points. Let's say you would pass an IELTS or level 6. 10 years, a bachelor, didn't study, you wouldn't get this one. 65 points, right? From my experience, it's quite unlikely that IT person can get the invitation. 65 for 190 and 489, it's enough. It's not capped, right? So if the state will be happy with 65, they will give you the nomination. For IT occupation, from my experience, New South Wales is rather than not that happy to give the nomination. So it's very unlikely that you will get the nomination with 65. If you will, let's say, pass an IELTS on, pass the English on proficient level, IELTS or equivalent, you will get 75 points. With 75 points, a better chance to get the nomination, all right? So that would be New South Wales. Victoria. Okay, Victoria is also nominating analyst programmers, but they are saying straight away, you will not get the invitation if you will not get 7.0 in each band from IELTS or equivalent. And you will need to have at least 3 years of the work experience. You have got 10 years, so 3 years is fine. You will satisfy this requirement, but 7.0 in each band, whether you will get it or not, that's the other question. So that would be about the Victoria. Queensland. There are 4 categories, 4 groups. Whether you are working in Queensland, whether you are offshore, master graduate, PhD graduate, And dependent on which group you are, if you are working in Queensland, there is quite a lot of occupations which could be nominated by Queensland. And they are nominating for both 489 and 190. But you are not working in Queensland. You are offshore. There is a lot, but also a lot less. Queensland, yes, it is nominating analyst programmers, but you would need to have 80 points, right? Minimum post-qualification work experience of 5 years in accordance with ACS skill assessment. So that could be quite challenging, 80 points. And with the state nomination for 489, you can get extra 10 points. 190, you can get extra 5 points. Both are being nominated by Queensland. Let's say 489, you can get 80 points, all right? But to get 80 points, again, IELTS 7. So do your maths, have a look. South Australia. Let's have a look at South Australia. State nominated occupations. It is on the list of occupations for South Australia. Proficient English or proficient plus overall offshore applicants. Provisional 489 only, 70 points required. So again, $489 only. Okay, it's 70 points. So if you will get 489, 10 points. Proficient. So in theory, with IELTS 6, 8 years of work experience, your age, bachelor degree, not registered, 70 points. Okay. So as analyst programmer with 70 points, you and IELTS 6 or equivalent, you might get the invitation. Yes, so South Australia, from my experience, they are quite slow when it comes to the decision about the invitation. Its special conditions apply 5th of 7th 2018, and the fact that the occupation is at the list at the very moment, it does not have to be over here tomorrow or the day after. The list is being amended from time to time. And 2nd of November, not available for high points nomination, not available for chain migration nomination. So it's changing. However, with 70 points, you might get a chance of getting the nomination from South Australia. So you will have to Google the occupation list for Northern Territory, Tasmania, Western Australia in general. They are nominating only doctors and few nurses and some other occupations, but the other occupations are only for those who would study in Western Australia. So I wouldn't bother with that one. So yeah, that's how it would work with 190 489 visas. So you need to check each and every state, and each and every state wants to make sure that the person who will be nominated by them will be actually living there. So you will need to provide with some sort of statement why that state and why you choose that particular state, why you want to live over there, whether you have got family, whether you did the research, whether you have been there before, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, with the points, have a look over here, do the maths. You'll see. But first of all, you will have to do the skills assessment. Once your skills assessment will be successful, they will give you the date from which your work experience would be deemed as skilled. It's not just about years of the work experience. It must be deemed as skilled work experience. Remember that. Quite often people are claiming too many years and then they are not able to prove all of these years of work experience. So yeah, first of all, occupation, check for which visas you might be eligible, whether 189, 190, 489. What is the skills assessing authority? What is the ANSCO code? The ANSCO code Have a look over here. All right. Search ANSCO titles. Do the skills assessment. Once you will have the skills assessment done, check the points. So going back to the question about what are the minimum points should I target for immigration application to process faster? It's not really about faster. It's about being eligible for the visa at all. So for skilled, independent 189, for IT occupation, I would say 80 points. With 80 points, you would get the invitation probably in the next round of invitations. With 75 points, you could get a chance to get an invitation at all for 189. With 70 points, don't even bother. With the states, you need to check each and every state separately, all right? If there are any other points I should focus on, please let me know. It all depends on the particular situation. But there are other points we would have to have a chat. Okay. All right. So if you found this information useful, please share or like it to show your appreciation and give us the motivation to continue recording new material. If you want to have a chance to get your visa-related question answered, fill this form at nowakmigration.com.au/contact us. If you need migration advice, you can book it here, nowakmigration.com.au booking. All right, and remember, there is a fee for the consultation. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching and see you soon.